What's up, fellow lords of gaming? Welcome back to the channel. So we're jumping in with some solo leveling Arise content. I want to go back to like doing a good, the bad, the ugly to examine some of the shops, since what we've got for the first year anniversary week 2 really is just a shop update. There's not a whole lot of content that's been really added to the game, so it's really just a review of the shop. So let's jump right on in and take a look. Before we get started, guys, there are some codes that you should be aware of because they came out of a collab that was done with Zaff, Hive, and some of the other Paynechuled, some of the other players with the CMs, and you need to be aware. So if you go to your code section, type in JuicyZaff, Hot King, HivePordy, and Paynechuled, you'll get some rewards. I'll have the codes down in the description of this video, so go check them out and basically get your rewards from there. As Payne said in one of his videos, they're a penitence of a reward, but they're a reward nonetheless. So let's jump out in without further ado. Like I said, there's not a whole lot that's been basically going on from the game in terms of the first anniversary. To be quite honest with you, I was expecting a little bit more, a little disappointed, but you know, it is what it is. You're getting the good with the bad. The first anniversary event is scheduled to end here in a few days, so don't forget to go over and complete your hunters challenges, so that way you can claim and craft your bow, the new Forez Wish bow that's basically in there. Now, realistically, I don't think that this is going to stand up to DKD or to the new Stormbreaker, which are at the top of the list in terms of weapons. If you're not aware at this point, you need to get Stormbringer and get that as high as you can, and then on the way to that, you might as well get your DKD because they're really good. And if you happen to have the opportunity to get the new item, the new scythe, water scythe, we're going to take a look at that here in a second, you probably should be getting that as well, so that way you can get it to at least A5. So we're going to take a look in the shop and see those, but right now the power weapons in the game are going to be pretty much these. Plum has fallen off to Stormbringer, which is pretty much your best all-around weapon inside the game. So now you basically need the new weapons for the new Monarch, the Monarch of Yogaminut, I think his name is. Why did I go to this link right here? So your Remnants of Power, Yogaminut, is inside there, and you're going to want to fight this world boss as soon as you can, so that way you can increase your power scope there. Well, this is really simple, a nice new Workshop of Brilliant Light mode, and you're going to want to basically either have a water or wind team inside of here. So that means you're going to want the new Valkyrie version of pure water Valkyrie version of Chahe-In, and you're going to want to have probably Saorin on your team. If not, then you're going to probably want to have a really nice built wind team. But you can see from these, the wind element of basically having DKD and Stormbreaker, or having the new scythe mixed with Stormbringer, is probably going to be your best way to knocking out some of that content. So make sure that you jump in and take a look at those. So now let's jump in and take a look at this shop. So inside the shop, we still got the happy first anniversary events inside here. I didn't do a breakdown of these anniversary events shop items before, but I'm going to do them for you now. I do think that these happy first anniversary for $5 packs are pretty decent. When you look at, for instance, the draw ticket item inside here, you're getting 50 tickets. That's pretty hefty in terms of like looking at the total pulls. You're getting 550 crystals, so that means you're getting the 50 pulls innately for itself for free for $5. Then you look at the other ones where in the same realm, where the crystals are worth the price of admission in the first place, but you're getting other layered rewards. So for instance, the SSR Hunter selection is up there. So if you were looking to round off any of your hunters that you haven't basically got to A5 or A10, these were ways for you to accelerate up in those. The only one I hadn't had was Goto Ryuji, and I'm pretty close to that, so I was considering purchasing these. But like I said, for $5 you're going to get the diamonds in the first place, and then you're basically getting that as a reward. It also comes with a SSR Hunter weapon selection chest. So if you needed any of the previous hunters that came out, guess what, guys, their weapons are available here for you to top off on as well. So next up, we've got the SSR Weapons Special Pack. This one starts to look a little less, you know, great to me, just because of the fact that we had the previous hunter selection checks, but you get Sun Jin Woo's weapons inside here. So this is the perfect opportunity to basically go in and grab yourself a Stormbringer directly from here if you're looking to get that off. I didn't need this, so I don't necessarily see purchasing it. You know, in terms of my weapons, they're all beyond A5. I'm not trying to max out or min my characters or my gameplay experience, because it is a mobile game at the end of the day for me. So it's like my enjoyment piece, not necessarily like the place where I'm trying to drop all of my money. We'll have that for other games like Dune Awakening when that releases. But overall, these are really good chests for you to basically get in. They're amazing chests. I would say go ahead and make purchases of these 100% if you are looking to accelerate any of your teams, or you know, even get some drops to help hopefully accelerate. 50 of these basically get you right in that range. This is the only reason why I dislike this one. It gets you right in that range of that guaranteed pull, but not exactly there. But you more than likely you're gonna get it within the 50. Next up, we get the new edition this week of the gift event chest, and I am not the biggest proponent for gacha, and I know that's weird because I'm playing a gacha game, but these are the elements that become even more gacha in my opinion. So like for instance, if you open up any of the anniversary gift chests, you'll notice here that you have the ability, you're not guaranteed to get these, you have the ability, the probability to get some of these items, and you can check out the rate info here. So the transcendent skill runes, you're about 0.05, the custom draw tickets 0.1. You know, like you might have some ability to pull these, but by and large, I'm going to tell you right now that you're probably going to end up more with these ×1 rate up draw tickets, marks of times, and maybe the weapon custom draw ticket. The weapon custom draw ticket might not seem like a bad thing right now because of the state of play and saying that you want to get that new scythe and the new Stormbringers, but realistically the odds that you're going to get any of these 20 or 100 pulls are so relatively low that you're probably not going to get it. But you know, depending on the way your wallet looks, like I just said, your wallet looks, then you may find these to be valuable to you. So here you can see for 99 cents or $1, you basically get some of these items. So it's 150 of these, the rune fragments, the powder of blessing, 75 of those, and then 10 of the low tier mana crystals, and that nets you 3 of these boxes. So essentially you're gonna earn yourself 15 of these if you were to pay $5. Is it a bad deal? That's what we're gonna get at. It's not bad. I'm gonna say it's bad. It's not good. Like, because it's the good, the bad, the ugly, I'm gonna say it's bad just because I hate the idea of a gacha within a gacha, but it's there nonetheless, right? Here we can see you can purchase these for two times monthly. It's $21.99, and you can see here for these you're gonna net yourself the uncommon skill rune chest, and then you're gonna net yourself the uncommon blessing stone chest. So you're gonna get 3 and 3 of those. So if you were to purchase it fully for the $22, is 6 of these in total, and then you're gonna get about $1 million in gold. But you're gonna get 65 of these, so a total of 130 chances at pulling on these items here. Now, like I said, it's all gonna be down to you for that rate info. I'm gonna imagine, for the sake of me, I'm gonna imagine that if you were to pay the $21.99 and you were to get these anniversary gift chests, inside here you're probably gonna net yourself some decent enough rewards. Over here we got another 2, and these are gonna net you 200, so a total of 400 boxes inside of there if you want. Now everybody's gonna get the chance at these first anniversary gift chests daily. So within the week or the 2 weeks that this event is running, you're gonna have 14 chances to basically pull out those for the free. And if you're currently engaged in the battle tier subscription, the Hunters Association Premium, then you're gonna net yourself you know, these as well. Now yeah, I'm gonna say necessarily, like, it's not necessarily a good thing to me. It's not necessarily ugly either. It's just, and it's not even bad realistically, but it falls right into that category of where I would be like, ugh, I'm right on the line at bad. You know what I mean? Next up, we've got the anniversary shops that were here. They're still continuing, and I wanted to take a look at some of these anniversary items in here, because I'm gonna say these, to me, there's not a whole lot of innate value inside some of the anniversary celebration ones, unless you're just heavy up on trying to accelerate your rate of gameplay and you really just want to get these items for your skill research. I would not purchase these at all. These $35.99 chests inside here, these are for the whales of whales. Now you will net yourself some celebration coins, and we'll look at those, but I don't think that there's anything necessarily in the shop that you just absolutely have to have these celebration coins for. That's just me being honest. Now, if you were to, by comparison though, look at the $69.99 and the $19.99 packs that are available inside here, you can see I purchased this one once for $19.99. I did, and the reason why is because I'm looking at the value. That's the proposition here. I'm essentially paying for the diamonds. So in paying for the diamonds, I'm getting $22.50. I've already explained to you guys, like in previous videos, the dollar to value ratio, where we're basically saying $1 is equal to 100 of your diamonds or so forth, and I'm getting $22.50 of those. So all the rewards on the flip side of those essentially are rewards basically for making that purchase, and you're getting 45 of the rate up draw tickets in there alone. The 500 rune fragments is really nice, and then you get the 20 celebration crystals. By comparison to the first anniversary celebration for $69.99 or $70, you're getting the diamonds. So there's innate value there. Innate. And then you're getting 150 of the rate up draw tickets. So if you just absolutely have to have Cha, or you were using these to save up for any of the other characters, this is perfect. The next character that's coming to the game is going to be Lian. He had a very small role. He had a very small role inside of Ragnarok, I think, and inside of solo leveling, but he's coming up next. He's not necessarily like a pull that I just feel like I have to have, but these two items inside of here, by nature of, like I said, you're paying for the crystals, the value to ratio for diamonds to your dollar in this game are fairly good. I don't necessarily have a problem with these. They're really good. You can see this is the anniversary exchange shop, right? And this is what I mean by you're getting those coins, and I don't think that there's anything necessarily innately of value that you just absolutely have to have inside this exchange shop. I mean, you can get the celebration, ticket or whatever inside of here. You can get the SSR hunter weapon selection ticket, and you could even get yourself the the SSR hunter selection ticket as well. But we saw those available to you for $5 in other places. The legendary weapon blessing stone chests, I just don't see any value in this necessarily, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, for 200 of those, I mean, I get it, you're just paying for things anyway, so if you just get these tokens, then it's like another tear up reward. But yeah, not my thing at all, realistically. Now, don't forget about the triple up rewards as well. We've seen like the double up essence stones, and these are really good as well. For $9.99, you're getting 20, what is it? I'm bad at math. 2,300 diamonds, and then you're also netting yourself some essence stones as well. So these are all triple up on the rewards, but you're doubling up on the diamonds and also getting the essence stones. I cannot tell you guys that these are bad deals. Like, I will 100% stand by the fact that the developers have to make money to continue producing the game. If you are one of those players that want to invest in the game, then this is a really good place for you to make the investment, so that way the developers continue bringing you great product. That's it. It's as simple as that. If you don't feel like you need to make these investments and you just want to remain a free-to-play, then leave this to the whales, so that way they can accelerate their gameplay. These are not bad shop items at all. These are really good. Looking at the special shop, we've all seen the special shop, right? Special shop is what it is. I don't necessarily think that there were any bad items in here, but I just didn't think that there were any items that I needed necessarily. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, the majority of these things are gameplay acceleration. Like I said, I don't play this game for min-maxing or as if it's a primary game, so I don't necessarily feel to accelerate the rate of play. As long as I get to have fun, then these are items that I'm not necessarily looking at. In terms of acquiring hunters and weapons and things like that, that's places where I would actually consume those items, so that way I can just say I have a bevy of things to play with when I do log on to the game. It's even if they're not meta. So the update shop is in here as well. We got the costume for Pure Sword Princess Cha-Hae-In. It's not a bad looking costume overall, but I prefer the costume that she had already. Some of the colors are pretty cool, but they don't end up looking like Cha to me, like these two right here. yeah, not my thing, but I like the red one overall. But this is for $21.99. We've seen this a number of times inside of here. Now we do get the artifact crafting specials that now join the shop, and they do include these new luminous prism materials along with these new luminous prism ones as well. So you can get these from the gates, I believe it was that was getting them from, and then it has all the artifact crafting materials that you basically need. This is where we start to get bad. Again, it's not necessarily that anything's off with these, but the innate value of these is just associated in your ability to want to pay into the game and accelerate your gameplay as if though you needed to catch up for some reason. So I'm not really on board with these two products. You do have Chahaen's exclusive weapon pack for 3,900 diamonds. So if you want to accelerate that, you can do those as well. And then we've got the draw support for diamonds, so 9,000 diamonds is going to net you 70 of the custom draw rate up draw tickets and 500,000 gold. And then we've got Goto Ryuji's exclusive, which is still in the shop. I thought it was going to phase out since he phased out of the custom draw. Now the one big thing that we want to show is the Winter Fang. That's the new water-based weapon inside the game. So you can see here I purchased the first opening salvo of this. I think it was like $7.99 or something like that, and so I purchased this one, and it gave me 15 of these weapon draw tickets, and then 2 of the mono extracts and 4 of these. Now I did that specifically so that way I can get a Winter Fang and see what it was like to play, so that I can tell you. That basically got me excited about basically telling you you might want to go check it out. And then I looked up some videos to see Paynblade and Zach's testing of those weapons, and they look like it's a pretty powerful and strong weapon, so you probably want to go jump on it. Now the really cool thing about this weapon is that it has a nice working system to it, in terms of like there's some support here. So you notice, in order to get some of the big effects of the weapon, just having it at A0, you're going to want to have the title Wolf Assassin Blessing Stone active. So that means in your water-based teams, for sure, because that's where you're more than likely going to be using this, in your water-based team setups, you're going to want to have Wolf Assassin, which means you lose a Blessing Stone slot, because this is going to give you the increased damage dealt by 30% and increased critical hit damage by 30%, and it applies to all of your weapon bonuses. So it's really going to be one of those things that you want to have active. You can see here along the scale from A0 to A3, we've got some different bases of, like, the user's water damage increasing by 10%. We get the nice effects of Wolf's Echoes and White Wolf's Night, basically increasing critical hit rate and critical hit damage. We get the cooldown for Wolf's Shadow, and then at the A5 we get the Dusk and Silver Mark effects are enhanced as well. So like, this is from testing, from what I've seen from Payn and Zaff, this is definitely one of those weapons you're going to want to have in your inventory. Probably one of the more powerful combinations right now in terms of Winter's Fang and Stormbringer is definitely going to be there and be probably necessitate you if you're looking to clear the hard mode for Yugmanut. So have at that and take a look at it. I think it's a really cool looking weapon overall, in my opinion. It was one of the reasons why I wanted to get at it. It's a nice hefty looking scythe compared to the ones that we had previously. It's a really cool looking scythe, in my opinion. Whether or not you want it or not, is going to be completely up to you, but I highly suggest choosing what's best suited for your own wallet. Now you can see there's gradual step tiers inside of this, so it's a relay pack and more of that. For $21.99 you basically unlock some more of these weapon draw tickets, along with some ways to accelerate the advancement of that weapon. And then you can see here you'll get the Winter's Fang for free for making that $21.99 purchase. At $29.99 you're going to get 45 of those weapon draw tickets and ways to accelerate, and you'll get the Fang as well. And then for $50 you'll get 90 of those weapon draw tickets and the weapons Fang for free. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 phases of that. You're more than likely, with the remaining tickets that you're going to get from these, 90 here, 45 here, and then back here 30 as well. You're more than likely going to get another draw of Winter Fangs and basically get that weapon at A5, and if you're lucky you'll get it above that as well. Right now you're not able to craft it obviously, so you know this is going to be your best way to go for it. The costume shop is still here, so don't forget about exchanging your costume tokens as well, because I think this is a really cool shop that they've basically added for the 1-year anniversary, and I hope this is something that they repeat, because for those players who didn't want to spend $21.99 but really wanted to change up now maybe some of the looks of the characters that they love, then this is a great place to basically go in and basically exchange tokens for being around for so long and doing those. I really like this overall because it's a way to basically get players engage with characters and reward them for, you know, their loyalty to the game. Even if they're just jumping on right now, you know, they're basically netting themselves these tokens. I already made one purchase and got the boundary between light and darkness. This was one of those battle pass costumes for Sun Jin Woo that I was on the fence of getting, and then by the time I came to the assumption or the conclusion that I wanted it, it was already gone from the shop and I no longer had it. I still got 30 tokens. More than likely I'm gonna get any Sun Jin Woo. The only sad part about these is some characters are literally falling off from play. Like, you really aren't using them as much, so you're not gonna necessarily see those outfits. You know, like my girl, for instance here, I loved her in the beginning of the game and she was absolutely amazing, but since the arrival of Seorin, I'm not gonna see her as much with, you know, my teams, unfortunately. It just is what it is, you know what I mean? Excuse me, she's fire-based. There's other characters that just basically come inside there. So you can go make purchases for these costumes as well for diamonds if you want to, and these are going to net you 15 of these. So by the time it's all said and done, if that was something that you were looking at doing, you're going to net yourself a few of these old costumes if you don't have them overall. So those are pretty much all of the items that are currently inside the shop. We did have the addition of these new skill rune blessing stone packs that I don't like. I put them in bad. I don't necessarily say that they're ugly, but I put them in bad just because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of gacha within gacha and then having to pay to accelerate play. Most of the other things that we've seen inside the shop, they're just the typical normal things that, you know, no problem with whatsoever. There's not a whole lot of ugliness. If I'm being perfectly honest, there's not a whole lot of ugliness inside of the shop for Solo Leveling Arise. It's probably one of the better mobile gaming shops that I've seen. So go in and be wise about how you're spending your money and about the state of play for this game. I'm pretty sure we've probably got at least another year in. The player base is phenomenal, and the output from the creators has been generally very good. I've been entertained and it's given me something to do when I'm on and about in the out and go. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, peace.